Princess Charlene of Monaco says she can't wait to get home to her children who she misses terribly in new interview from South Africa, but makes no mention of Prince Albert. Princess Charlene of Monaco has said she can't wait to get home to her children but made no reference to her husband Prince Albert in a new interview given in South Africa. Zimbabwean-born Charlene, 43, who wed Prince Albert II in 2011, has been living in her home country of South Africa for much of this year, and the extended stay has stoked speculation that the royal couple may be headed for divorce. However, they have denied rumors of a rift and said Charlene's absence from the principality is due to her contracting the serious sinus infection making her unable to travel and forcing her to miss key events, including her 10-year wedding anniversary and her children's first day of school. In a new interview it took place earlier this month and was shared on Charlene's Instagram page earlier today, the royal said she misses her children, Prince Jacques and Princess Gabriella, terribly, adding, "If there is any mother out there who has been separated from her children for months would feel the same way I feel." In the clip, she said, "I came to South Africa to oversee some foundation projects. I was unwell at the time, unknowingly, with an infection. It was addressed immediately. Unfortunately, it grounded me for some months in South Africa. I had my one procedure, it was very successful. I'm well, I'm feeling much stronger. I have one more procedure. Then I cannot wait to get home to my children, who I miss terribly." Elsewhere in the interview she touched on community in South Africa, saying she would like to impart unity and strength. She said, "Obviously I would never like to touch on anything politically. But what can be done, is people need to set their differences aside and think of the generations to come and less of themselves. Too much emphasis is put on ourselves and less on the future generations to come. What do they have to look back on? Who is their guide? That needs to be installed." Speaking about the anti-poaching work she has been undertaking while in South Africa this year, she said, "I am determined to come back and continue the work I set out to do as I have done in many countries over Africa and in South Africa. Conservation, preservation, restoration and education. That is what my foundation stands for. We save lives." The release of the interview comes days after a palace source said her final operation to deal with an ear, nose and throat infection she contracted in May went very well. The operation in South Africa on Friday was performed under general anesthetic, and is the last she had to undergo following her ENT infection. She will be under observation for 48 hours, the source told French news agency AFP. Earlier this month Albert insisted that his wife is likely to return to Monaco by the end of the month, telling RMC Radio, "She will be back very soon, we have to talk to the doctors in a few days." It comes amid reports that Albert applied for sovereign immunity in his court battle to fight claims he fathered a third love child before marrying Charlene. The 63-year-old prince, who already supports 2 illegitimate children, is alleged to have had a relationship with a Brazilian woman which resulted in a daughter in 2005. The claim, which his lawyers dismissed as a hoax, is particularly painful as he was dating Charlene at the time, having met the former Olympic swimmer in 2000. It was reported last year that the case would go to court in Milan in February, however according to Town & Country, the prince's lawyers pleaded sovereign immunity and the case has been delayed. Lawyer Eric Grimaldi, who is acting on behalf of the woman, said he hopes the judge will reject Albert's plea and he is waiting for the case to come back to court, which he believes will happen imminently. The 34-year-old claimant, who cannot be named for legal reasons, says she had a passionate affair with Albert, leading to the birth of their daughter, whose name is also classified, on July 4, 2005. Albert received a handwritten letter from the child, who is now 16, in September last year reading, "I don't understand why I grew up without a father, and now that I have found you, you don't want to see me." Last December, legal papers were also filed, as lawyers for the claimant called on Albert to undergo a DNA test, just as he did before finally being identified as the father of 2 illegitimate children born in the 1990s and early 2000s. This was before Charlene and Albert were an item, but the latest case covers a time when she was already in love with him, a source who works closely with the Monaco royal household revealed at the time. Charlene has had a terrible year, with one family crisis after another, including Albert going down with coronavirus, and now she's gearing herself up for this hell. The princess, whose maiden name was Charlene Wittstock, was an Olympic swimmer for South Africa when she first met Albert at a Monaco aquatic competition in 2000. They began dating soon afterwards, before Charlene married into the House of Grimaldi at a star-studded wedding in July 2011. Their twins, daughter Gabriella and son Jacques, were born 3 years later and are seen as the family's official heirs. By this time, Charlene had come to terms with Albert's hard-fought legal battles with women who eventually won financial settlements over children they had with Albert, even though he originally denied their claims. In May 2005, just before he was enthroned as Prince of Monaco, Albert confirmed he was the biological father of Alexander, whose mother was Nicole Coste, a former Air France flight attendant from Togo. A DNA test in May 2006 also confirmed Albert was the father of Jasmine Grace, the result of an affair with Tamara Rotolo, an American estate agent he met while she was on holiday in the south of France. Jasmine was born in the 1990s and Alexander in 2003. The Brazilian woman says she traveled around the world with the prince in the 2000s. Lawyer Grimaldi said he had filed papers with specific details of his client's love affair with Albert, including Photos cuddled up with her kids in South Africa with the caption, "I am so thrilled to have my family back with me." Gabriella decided to give herself a haircut. "Sorry my Bella, I tried my best to fix it," referring to her daughter's choppy fringe. However, a body language expert told female Charlene showed no emotional bond towards her husband Prince Albert in the images. Judy James said that rather than being the loved-up reunion photo one would expect of a couple surrounded by split rumors, the royals' poses suggested no signs of connection between awkward-looking Albert and Charlene. Charlene has been in South Africa since at least March, with media reports suggesting she is looking for a house there.